Let's go live to the National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie. Lots to talk about. I want to talk to you about EVs and October 7 protests. But just to pick up on what's happening in the US, I just noticed a story on The Guardian in the last 15 minutes reporting at least 29 Americans have sought asylum in Australia. 29 Americans in the 6 months since Donald Trump, his second presidency began. What do you make? How do you react to that?
Our humanitarian visa classes, Kieran, are there to assist genuine cases of persecution across the globe. It's a capped program. We need to make sure that we're prioritising those who are genuinely being persecuted, particularly by nation states that they're living in, and state-sanctioned persecution. And obviously, I hope our department views this with the scepticism that it should, because if you think about Christians in Nigeria, a whole raft of persecuted minorities across the globe, we need to make sure that the people that we grant those visas to are genuinely being persecuted and also can contribute positively to building a safe and prosperous Australia. So hopefully the department gives the right advice to the minister.
Yeah, well, the scepticism from you clearly on that one. On the EVs, so let's talk about that. The road user charge.
What about you, Kieran?
Challenge. The government's trying to get more people into EVs. What do you make of this sort of conundrum at the moment where you're falling short of fuel excise, but roads need to be built and fixed?
Yeah, absolutely, Kieran. I think once again we're seeing the Labor Party pulling one lever for a policy solution whilst making opposing decisions that aren't good for the country in another. We know they're not going to meet their 2030 emissions reduction target, so they've doubled down on that and produced this transport sector plan for 2035 that's going to see Australian motorists really do the heavy lifting and pay the cost of emission reductions. And the pipe dream of Chris Bowen is that there's going to be 6 million new electric vehicles on our roads by 2035. Now, industry says that's impossible. We don't have the charging infrastructure. EVs are very expensive, and we don't have the, the type of grunt that Australians like to see in their car for it to actually do the work that Australian motorists want to see. And so what Labor's plan is to essentially tax the cars that Australians need to drive, that they love to drive, our four-wheel drives, our utes, our SUVs, and oddly, as you're seeing in the papers today, hybrids, in order to push Australians into electric vehicles. And the odd outcome will also be that the more electric vehicles we get, the less road user charge or fuel excise we collect, which we use to maintain and upgrade our roads. So there's huge problems with Labor's policy, and I think what you're seeing is Jim Chalmers really being, positive, and we spoke about it at the time on your show around making the road user charge work right across the country with state treasurers. We had the High Court decision sort of saying that that's what had to happen. It needed national leadership, and he's been sat on by Bowen and Cabinet to say he can't roll it out because they don't want to harm the uptake of electric vehicles. I think it's got hairs all over it.